Hello, everybody, and welcome back. If you've ever sat on a train that's going at high speed across the landscape, whatever that might be, if you look down at the railway line just below you, you will notice if it's grass that it's rushing past so fast you can barely focus on it, or probably not focus on it at all. But when you look off in the distance, the mountains or the city or whatever you're passing through barely look like they're moving. And that is pretty much what is happening with your camera and lens as you move. So very often you'll notice I'm looking at compositions where I've got a subject close to me, a subject in the middle, and a subject off in the distance for that very reason. So I know that when I pan upwards, the camera movement is going to have more effect on the subject closer to me than further away. But there is an interesting caveat here, and that is the subject nearer to you, you will see more texture. So this tree here doesn't look like this. The bark doesn't look like that. I have literally grabbed the texture and elongated it, stretching it up the tree trunk with my movement. But what's happening off in the distance is, as we've said before, everything in the frame is moving with you. You can't just move one part of the subject, everything is going with you. Because the things off in the distance are less affected by your movement, it's kind of like a paintbrush going backwards and forwards over the same thing. So they can appear much softer, you can lose the detail and the clarity and have no texture at all there. And of course, we've got all the regular things like focal length and the aperture that you're using, and even the lens. And so this gives you a creative superpower when you understand this, because if you now start looking for subjects, as you would if you were painting a picture, there would be a foreground, a midground, and something off in the distance. If you look for compositions like that and remember this, you will start to find that you create more interesting images. And so the next question then is, what happens when you do a double exposure in the camera? Or even if you take two shots and blend them, you will simply strengthen the effect. So the texture closer to you will be more textury or texturized, and things off in the distance where you probably wouldn't want that much lattice effect on that background. Fortunately, for the same reasons, you'll find it is softer, visible but softer. So I'm not even going to attempt to wrap my head around the physics of this. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in being an artist and painting with my camera. And I thought that you might find this useful to think about as well. So that is my tip for this week. I have now released a new date for the Embodied Impressionistic Photography Workshop, which is live online with me. So the first workshop's filled up. So I've got a second date now available beginning at the end of June. So do check out the link below in the description of this video if you're interested in joining me. There is also now a tutorial series, pre-recorded videos, 7 hours, all on the website as well if you would rather learn at your own pace. So I thank you for being here, and I will look forward to seeing you again in a week or so. Bye everyone.